Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome to the stream, VR Master League, Week 10, heading into the weekend very soon, but first gotta get through this Thursday. So, it's our second European match in what has been back-to-back games, or will be back-to-back games, for Quackheads. It's their second match, coming off that victory against Fusion. They'll be facing off against Alpha Ducks now. So, Alpha Ducks. Rolling in with that 7-11 record, 16 or 1160 MMR for Quackheads off that victory against Fusion. They are 500 on the season, 10-10, so all evened up. So with this, if they win this match, they could be looking at themselves being one above 500, and they'll gladly take that record here going into the late season, looking real good. But of course, for Alpha Ducks, they're looking to put a stop to that and send them right back to that one game under. So, could go either way here. Always entertaining to watch these teams. Not only similar in name, obviously, but just play style, things like that. I mean, all around, it's fun watching these two Duck teams just stun the heck out of each other for 20 or 30 minutes. So we'll see how that plays out here, though. As these teams are just about ready to go, I think, for Quackheads. So sorry, I don't mean to laugh, it's not a funny thing. I got a message by bad internet. It says 1 minute my nose is bleeding. Not funny at all, just random. It took me off guard. So hope bad internet is all good, cleans up the nose, and then we'll be going to the round. Yeah, bad internet coming in, subbing here for Quack. Had a very nice game just moments ago versus Fusion. Had double-digit points, leading the way there, and filling up every category at the time, really. So let's see if he kind of does the same thing here again against Alpha Ducks. With a Ninja Knight 93, Lil Rad, Stody, and Martin the Third. Don't know why that tongue-tied me. That's probably the easiest name to say. Martin the Third. Martin the Third. Either or. Yes. Bad internet. Where art thou? I gotta wonder. So, if it's just a, I don't know, matter of time before we see bad internet getting on a team again. We'd love to see it. I know some people, perfectly fine and happy to just do the whole substitute thing. So nothing wrong with that. But I mean, anytime we've seen bad internet, he's always providing the highlights and the stats. He had a really, really nice one just in that game against Fusion that I pointed out specifically. It was just in like a 5-second span. He had 4 or 5 different really nice quick reflex moves that got them the goal. So maybe someone will catch that in the highlights. But it was a pretty nice one, where all in a quick succession he got a well, he received a pass, he ducked through the first defender, and then there's a second defender just about on his feet, but he played just very disciplined. He had a nest pass he thought was available, but then hesitated when he saw the defense was there and stunning out his nest pass. So then he immediately went to shield his face, denied the second stun, showing that patience, and then he walked it in and got it on the goalie on top of that. So probably doesn't sound as impressive when I describe it, but believe me, in that short of a time span, it was a very just quick boom, 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 boom score. It was pretty nice.
Well, I mean, it was your controller, like, it was like your finger
my normal hand, like I went to wash off my hand, put my hands in my face, and it hit my nose and it started bleeding. Like ever since I was in like elementary school, my nose has.
I always like it at school as well.
Dude, my nose started bleeding from every normal day stuff. Like when I just play games, sometimes it starts bleeding.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Martin's crashed again.
Oh, that's not good.
That is not good. I agree. Just before I unmuted them, they were telling bad internet. He's always hurting himself every time they play with him.
Sorry,
seems
Palidore.
like. It's okay. You're fined. You're fined $100. Well, 100 euros. What's worth more these days? That's what you're find.
Yeah, our mumble just went down while his PC's resetting.
Someone else is now fined, also 100. But I do know these players are, as I just mute for a second to not be distracted, but I know these players are using Atlas now as of late here in Europe. So, see several teams now hosting it, which is always a handy tool, of course. So I guess, you know, for those who don't know about Atlas, you can find it on the Echo Discord there. There's, in fact, a channel now called Atlas Matches. But what Atlas is essentially a private match browser, and it's a customizable one at that. But basically, it enables you to host. It's basically a separate client that you can open up outside of Echo, but it hosts private matches, so people can actually join those private matches without invites from your tablet inside the game. But just as well, you can also lock said rooms in Atlas. You can whitelist certain names, things like that. So it's pretty diverse, pretty customizable, and it's especially handy talking about league matches and such. If you have those lobbies hosted on Atlas, even if you do get crashes or any kind of dropouts like that throughout the course of a match, if you have Atlas open, you can rejoin immediately without anyone needing to re-invite you, things like that. I mean, it's very efficient and very helpful, especially in in matches where obviously if you crash in the middle of a round, which happens every now and then, it's especially handy just for saving those precious seconds and potentially not paying for that numbers disadvantage if you can get back in quick enough. So definitely a handy tool alongside the Mumble server, which a lot of teams are also using to have those someone's shouting out denials now in the chat. Every time I unmute, I get an F-bomb being dropped. That's 300 euros you're currently fined. That's incorrect. Not Raid Shadow Legends. I mean, let me just. Yes, I love these players, but they give me a hard time sometimes, unintentionally. Anyway, yes, got Fixed Gaming and VR Cover, Pro2 VR, and nudge nudge. We might have another one being introduced pretty shortly here on the sponsors end soon, so be on the lookout for that. But not confirming anything, just saying. But yeah, what was I saying before that? Mumble server. Yeah, we have the Mumble server, so it enables in your matches you can have positional audio, but private. So private comms, but you can still get that 3D audio that's so useful and important in Echo Rita. Not to mention just immersive. But being able to tell where people are just by the sound of their voice without having to, have it communicated constantly. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Although, it's good practice anyways to do that, but just saying. A lot of nice community tools ready and available for people to use, and a lot of them especially handy for VRML and, well, to be specific, so definitely visit those if you're curious. Talk about the other community things. I know I use Sealable Bag's Echo VR Matcher a lot of the times just to hop into public spec games without having to go in my headset. It's nice and instantaneous. Also, Sealable's a Twitch extension. Another one of those great tools where you can hover over the Twitch player, obviously, and get a look at the stats. A lot of little things available for the community, and we'll just continue to add more and more. That said, we've got ourselves a game about to start, so enough of my stalling. Here we go on the first launch. It's Quackheads taking it. It's bad internet here. Oh, with the show and go, the punch, and oh no, going for the goal. Doesn't make it though. Almost another very crafty, creative series of moves there. And bold at that. But there's a quick stacking from Quackheads. We'll get the disc right back, going for a bit of a clear and boost. 3 players all bunched up here for Quackheads, along with 2 from Alpha Ducks. Looking to contest the best they can here. Mentioned the brawling from these teams, so just be on the lookout. That's usually a factor with several of these players. Of course, though, worth mentioning the goalkeeping, because with guys like Middleman on one side, He's a fantastic goalie. Then you have Stody in here. Actually, Ninja Knight at the moment, but Stody has provided some amazing highlight saves as Middleman, well, just completely undoing everything I said. So not only was Stody not in the goal, but Middleman was on the offense. So just switching it up on the old door. But they get the score as a result, so not complaining whatsoever. Middleman definitely capable, so receiving a nice pass, scoring off of it. And off the launch here is Alpha Ducks. There's a very quick clear, very quick boost. However, they get kind of knocked on the bottom of that wedge there, just between the tunnels. Middleman taking a shot, but the defense already recovered with some time to spare. So good little save there as they get back and just quickly to the other side. So taken up here by, well, no one. Slap shot or slap clear out into the mid area. They have Middleman there as well as Irony Man. Little Rad, though, gets a disc. Going to go for a deep shot. Will be slightly off. And Middleman slightly off on the clear as it heads towards mid. But that said, there is a player there. Gob just contesting 3 of the Alpha Duck players. Doing pretty well, in fact. And eventually enabling Middleman for his team to recollect it. So Gobshite all on his own, all on his lonesome there, forcing that pass. And part of that also just because of the bunch up from the Alpha Ducks players. You know, when you have 3 players all bunched up in the same area, there's not really a lot of options to pass to naturally. So kind of a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B in terms of what caused that turnover. That said, another turnover will be turned into a shot from Little Rad, but bit off and taken nonetheless by Gob right around that backboard. And 2 points for Quackheads so far, opening this one up. Again, they just converted that win against Fusion moments ago as the goal not on line. But Quackheads looking to finish off a 2-0 on the day. And with a victory here today, they would go one win above that 500 mark, 11-10 for Alpha Ducks. Again, just trying to contest it. And Bad Internet, though, no contest. He has been on fire so far today. First 2 points in this match for him, but extending back to that Fusion match, he had a double-digit amount of points in that one as well and was a leading scorer for his team. So, but on this clear, on this boost and the retrieval, gotta love that rollout, very calculated on that bounce and just the boost. Unique as well, maybe not for Europe, but I know for the North American players who watch, it's always fun to see some of those rollouts. They get clever with it. Now here's a Little Rat up high and over to Martin. Martin is just going to miss that, however, so just kind of trying to look for some stacks maybe, but all the meanwhile, Bad Internet and Irony Man are there in the midline. So there's Irony with a disc going to sling a quick yet soft one over into the bubble and taken by Stody. Swift saying players can also cast, right? Yes, correct. It's only moderators, league mods, and administrators who are not permitted to cast or to play currently, at least. A bit of conflict of interest there, naturally, because they're the decision makers, but I don't know. Maybe it'll change one day. We'll just make it so they can't compete for any kind of prizes or something. I don't know. Who knows? People have been asking me if I wanted to play like next season. I'm like, I can't. And that said, I'm not sure if, you know, even if I could, I'm not sure if I would. I definitely want to get involved like in scrims and stuff again. But as far as competitive play, I don't know. I've had my time. Casting is mighty fine for me these days, and it's really fun seeing all the teams across the league joining and also improving. Just that level of play so high these days. With that save as well from Bad Internet. Someone not liking it perhaps, but nonetheless won't matter because it is a save. And just the same, Martin will get it right back, so no harm done for Alpha Ducks. Going for some two-man game there. Some nice quick passes strung along between Alpha Ducks. But eventually the clear, just sailing past the hands of Gub, but that's okay. Irony is there to clean up the miscatch. And now finding the pass. So Bad Internet sending another one over to the pack area. Taken here now by Middleman. Middleman to Gob. Right from below. And oh, finally finding the goal. Gobshite off Little Rad's head. That looked like it bounced out and then just back in. Very slowly and at that. 2 meters a second. But no one really able to get a good bead on the disc. So it just eventually rolled in. And, oh, looks like we got a rematch. Not sure the reasoning, but a rematch no less. Maybe it's another nosebleed. I don't know. Maybe I'll turn on the audio again. Let's see.
Martin's hands out. We'll fucking set the time back up again.
That's another $100 fine.
It was 4 minutes 30 and 6-0 to them.
Oh, there you go. You got it there. Also, yeah, again, that's pretty high for Europe, is it not? Just across the board almost. Where's all the 20 pings at? Anyway, Swift saying, I've been thinking about camming or maybe casting in free time. And yeah, for sure. It's all volunteer and community based, so we're, we generally bring casters on in waves, and there's definitely some people interested, and actually we're onboarding some new ones this, like, imminently, basically. Already set to do that, but yeah, we generally bring them in waves, and most typically we don't recruit during seasons so much, but that's not necessarily a hard rule. It's just kind of been the thing for VRML until recently, and it kind of makes sense just in terms of organization. But that said, with all the craziness going on and all the uncertainty and things like that, I'm not too against bringing in other casters. Really, the main requirements we have for casting is essentially just being involved in the game and community. That's basically the first and foremost thing. Beyond that, things like hardware and what your schedule will be like, and experience level. Not that if you're inexperienced and said stuff, it's definitely not a detriment to getting you onboarded, but it's just a matter of kind of figuring out what casters will be assigned to what and where and who needs training, things like that. But all around, it's really pretty open process. And Swift saying it's all in his name. Bad internet, that is. Fair enough. Not to be confused with Fair Enough from Team Tint. But fair enough. Middleman over here with the disc gets the pass off. Just missing Irony, but Irony's still in the area as well as Gob, so they're going to help each other out here and get that disc right back. Ramp pass down to Bad Internet, and now spreading out in a bit of a rectangle of sorts as 3 different Alpha Ducks players all contesting in this midline, playing aggressively and not afraid to do so, as they've shown over the weeks. A good punch there from Gob, as it will roll eventually to Bad Internet. Goes off the backboard. Didn't get the angle he wanted on that geometry, but will be rebounded by Gobshite. And over on the side wall, has some options. Goes up high to the one that he had, and just missing that shot as well. So I want to correct myself because I said he had options. And actually, it wasn't. He had one option. That was Bad Internet. The other 2 players on goal and on barrier were both covered very well by Alpha Ducks' defense. So good job from Alpha with that, as this clear does get sent, and Irony Man should be there for the collection with the stack now playing up aggressive on him as the pass goes through to Bad Internet. So he'll be contested too. Alpha Ducks really maneuvering well, and that's kind of one of the things. Playing the heavier midline defense and outside of the bubble, if you're fast enough to get back into the goal, it's not necessarily a bad strat to employ, and especially if you have some really capable one-on-one goalies in there, like these teams do. So it's not a one-size-fit-all kind of thing on defense, but because generally I do say, and I talked about this yesterday in the streams as well, generally on paper it's a lot better and easier to defend inside bubble with all 4 of your players in there. But again, it's not a universal thing either. But it's a good starting point for most teams in any case. But over here, Stody with the disc getting lost to Gobshite thanks to his stun. He'll also get the recovery off the ceiling before sending out a clear on that punch as well. There's a stack from Quack, and looking for the 2. Gets it. Middle man 82. And it's 8-0 for Quackheads. 2:18 remaining in round 1. As far as Swift, how you sign up for casting, at the moment applications aren't like on the website. They used to be, because again, it's usually just open before/after seasons. So at the moment, as this shot goes in, kind of basing it off of just the people who I know who are interested, who have already reached out to me, basically, is what it comes down to. Like I said, a little bit uncertainty and stuff, which is why we're going against typical convention and waiting till the off season, things like that. I mean, I don't know. We can solidify it more in the future, but That's kind of how I've based it so far, is just, you know, people reached out to me, and then we kind of do a process like that. Now, on the process of the shot, it's Middleman 82. As I attempt to smoothly segue from that into the play call. 11-0 for Quackheads, having, again, a strong round. This will make 3 straight rounds for them that they've won now today. Going back to that last game, and predicated, let's see here. It's off of, well, this time Middleman. Bad internet had some shots before the restart as well, but yeah, Quackheads definitely rolling today, and they've definitely started solidifying themselves over the course of the season now. You know, getting into that silver rank and definitely wanting to stay there for Quack. As this pass gets intercepted, or the shot gets intercepted, just a soft one towards Irony. But the double stack from Alpha Ducks, meanwhile, for Quackheads, just a single one. They're going to go on all the different numbers, but couldn't finish the shot there. All the great moves and the slick tricks, but not the two-pointer, at least not at first. And now a save there from Stody. But another intercept and another attempt from Middleman. So, hey, we'll be taken back. Another play. Is this one the charm? Not so, because Martin III slings it out of that goal area. Now with 10 seconds left, still time for one final attempt, but this will be what, I think the 4th one maybe, as it gets actually stolen by Lil Red. So he'll go for the ramp shot, but time just expired, and it's off in any case. Definitely a shot that he likes to take, though, if it's available to him. He's very good with those bounce shots, especially from the bottom areas, I've noticed a lot of the time. But just the same, any angle, he'll be glad to take him. Very good striker. All right, so we'll go to the highlights. Of course, partial stats because of the restart midway through that round. So not really a lot to read off, admittedly, but yeah, I mean, Middleman with the 5 points since then. Everyone else, a bit scoreless, but just because of that restart. So, you know, Quackheads doing a good job there, winning the first round here against Alpha Ducks. And Swift saying, count you in? Definitely. So, if you could, not that it's a requirement, but if you could, like, DM me, like, I don't know. What I've been generally asking people just as a stopgap for the application, since they're not up at the moment, if you do have, like a demo of sorts, like where you can just cast over one round or something. Not that it's a requirement, but I just, you know, if you could, I like to try and make it somewhat official, so it's not just a matter of me like being really picky and choosy. I want, you know, have something to show the other, you know, people that I'm responsible to that, hey, I'm onboarding this guy, okay? Okay. That's all. But yes, I'll be glad to keep you on said mental list. And yeah, as we get in this new wave, and especially because you presumably will be able to cast the European games. That's a huge bonus, quite frankly. So you're hired, just based off that, actually. Oh boy. Honestly, because I've been hoping, even since preseason, getting some more European casters involved. I mean, you know, had Tutorial Bot, and obviously, you know, he got really busy and things with that, and you know, nothing that I'm upset about, but it was kind of sad because I really love casting with him for sure. And then, likewise, you know, maybe Malarin, but I hear he's busy these days as well. So hey, the more European casters as they go for the shot. Stody casting that one out like a fishing rod. See, always got to find the segues. I promise you, there's a segue in every single sentence. Anyway, Stody gets the shot. For Alpha Ducks. 3 points first here. Swift saying, get some sleep for once. Yeah, you know what? Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I really do like doing these European matches. Like, it does, the schedule gets kind of busy because it's a lot of, you know, starting and stopping. It's a nice save goes from Ninja Knight, but I actually like it because it keeps my sleep on schedule. If I'm not casting, like, before preseason or after preseason ended, if I'm not casting, my sleep is like shifting 1 hour every few days. It's awful, and it makes me feel horrible. So actually, I like waking up consistently as they wake up for the shot. There's another one for you. Always a segue. Martin III gets it through. 5 points to 0. So yeah, if nothing else, These European casts keep me honest. They keep me straight. So Middleman 82 rolls out. And Gobshite taking the disc from mid lane, going to Irony Man, stringing along some easy passes here as way in the back just being delayed an awful long time, but Stody the save! Bad internet almost re-grab, but doesn't get the shot. Stody again doing what he does as the shot goes out here for Little Rad. Little Rad off on that one, but there's a stack overshooting, and now will be contested here. Bad internet slinging it through. Good defensive plays. So Bad internet, has he crashed over there, or maybe not? Anyway, no, he gets the disc actually, and that's going to be a shot just off the mark. He was having a great, really great match earlier in the day. Seems a little bit in disarray at the moment, but you know, it happens. Everyone goes through those hot and cold spells, so nothing else. You know, Quackheads, I mean, they're still looking to roll here. They've got that first victory on that first round as this shot just goes off and Little Rad taking that over, or about to perhaps. But I think luckily for Quackheads, the thing with them is you know, their team play has been pretty good, and they're looking for the stacks fast. So they've been, you know, looking for those passes. So, you know, if one player isn't feeling hot in a given moment, just go for the extra pass. They've got a lot of players on their team who are definitely able to pass and receive those ones for the 2-point conversions. So that's the only adjustment that really needs to be made, and they'll be fine. But for Alpha Ducks, they're going to be glad to go up by 5 here, maybe up by some more if they can get another offensive opportunity. So there's Martin with a pass down to Little Rad. The cross to Stody, too strong. So Martin the rebound, looking for the nest one, but it's going to be cut off. But, oh, just missing. So Gobshite was good and there and ready, but also ready Irony Man. So getting the tap out, and it's starting to get really scrambled inside that goal. 4 different players in there, now finally spreading up out of there as Little Rad just stuns everyone over and over for a while. Kind of a humorous moment there, but Martin the third up high, now paying it a little bit patiently, trying to get that one, but a great save by who else again? Middleman. So some nice passing, but even better defense inside the goal. This time, it will go for Lil Rad. Basically, the only way they could ensure the goal against a defender like Middleman is by anchoring to the pole and dunking it. And even then you're not guaranteed. So it gets a little tough. Swift saying in the chat as well, as this steal goes out from Little Rats, 7-0 for Alpha Ducks. Get back to Swift in a second here as Alpha Ducks collects. It's Stody on the floor. Really looking good in the second round. I mean, they're putting together some plays, and they're keeping Quackheads scoreless here, while just the same, you know, scoring very well themselves. And Bad internet there. That one will be a nice and easy dunk in, and maybe exactly the one that he needed to get it going here in round 2. Anyway, Swift mentioning, from what I've heard, the quest tracking for Echo Arena's ports is better than Rift S. Now, I don't have a Rift S to confirm, but I have heard the same, and I have played the quest port of Arena and can confirm it's surprisingly very, very good. And I have not had, again, no experience with S, but I have not had a lot of issues with Quest as a turnover's cause. And Gobshite gets the goal here, so 3-point match just like that, actually. But yes, can confirm Quest, very fun. Very, like, more than playable. I think it's going to be absolutely huge for the game. I've not had, like, occlusion issues or, you know, a bunch of weird behind-the-back issues or anything like that, so it's been quite a pleasant experience on that front. Ninja Knight here with the disc now for Alpha Ducks. They definitely want to score here again to give them some of that buffer again, because they were up 7-0, but now it's only a 3-point game after some back-to-back goals, and another save from Middleman. You see, you have to practically dunk it to get it past his defense. Otherwise, he just stuffs the goal every single time. Those shots are just, he has incredible reflexes, and it's just so hard to break through it sometimes. I mean, especially when it gets in a zone. Some days it gets ridiculous. And over here, so a 3-point shot. Oh, very, very important. A save there. Might have been a miss as well. I mean, it did ding, but either or. Very huge for Alpha Ducks. But, oh no, the interception from Middleman, and it's a tied up game. Big plays from both sides, but then the giveaway at the end enabled this tie. So not what Alpha Ducks wanted. They had all the momentum on their side, and well, now Quackheads, all the momentum perhaps on their side. That's 3 scores in a row to tie it up here. So here we go. Oh, good shield from Internet. Looking good on that shield, but the shot off that shield. Over to the side tunnel. Just trying to get the stacks together. There's Quackheads again. They've scored 3 in a row, but Little Rad's going to try and put a stop to it. But no, it's bad Internet again. Gets the disc. So making up for, you know, any missed shots. Just, again, with those great brawls in the midline. He was doing the same thing against the Fusion earlier as he goes for a shot. And there it is, laying it in from up close. But yeah, I think Alikos and Swift in there still feeling a little scrambled from all of bad Internet's punches earlier. And he was definitely doling some out. But yeah, again, that's what you got to do. You know, if you're struggling offensively for a particular round, just make up for it in a different way. You know, get faster regrabs or go for the brawls. You know, there's so many different things you can do to you know, play a part and contribute to you know, a team win. As right now, Little Rad dives in to tie it up again. 2.5 remaining, and all of a sudden now it's maybe some head-to-head goals going on. See how this plays out. So as we launch, tied up game, there's Middleman with the disc. 2 minutes left, Gobshite taking it. So the stack getting split up over there. And will be a turnover, maybe a little unforced, but forcing it out with the stun again. And bad Internet now is catching some fire perhaps. A couple back-to-back lay-ins from just about the same angle, same place. Not to mention the grabs, the brawling, and like I said, miss a few shots, get easy ones. They get you back in good rhythm and feeling good. Not to mention, just do something else elsewhere on the floor, like those brawls. And bad Internet's done it twice now in succession. So it's definitely good to see from him. And for Quackheads. For Alpha Ducks, meanwhile, though, they're looking to continue on in this round and tie it up again. The shot just off on the top of the back area, the backboard. But going to the ceiling, off the backboard, Middleman again. Another denial off that backboard. At this point, oh my goodness, Middleman, you stopped that yet again. Another save. Now another clear out here, pass out to Martin III, back to the wall to Stody, trying to tie it up, but Middleman playing some clutch defense inside the goal to deny every tie, it would seem. And yet here we go, Alpha Ducks still on the offense with the persistence and the insistence that they force around 3. They want it. Can they get it? And they do not have it, because Middleman does. 3 clutch saves in the final minute of play for Middleman to maybe close this out with a shot. Bad Internet. What a huge series of plays defensively for Middleman. That was 3 saves, 4 saves in a row, whatever it was. And then bad Internet. He scored 3 in a row. So between Middle and between bad Internet in the last 2 minutes of play, unbelievable effort on both ends of the floor. That was absolutely insane as they go for one more shot and one more save. Why not? Holy smokes, though. 14-9. And game disc certainly to Middleman for the last minute, but also bad Internet because he scored 3 in a row to put them right back. So how about that turnaround? That was just insane. What? Oh man, I love those kind of plays, and just the fact that we get it so consistently from some of these players with those clutch saves. I love it even more. It's fun to watch. That insanely clutch, nonetheless. Unfortunately for Alpha Ducks, they will not be able to complete the win. They got off to that 7-0 start in round 2. But then it was a good team effort to bring them back up with 3 scores of their own. And then all of a sudden, it was bad Internet with a few scores in a row for himself that just put them in the lead at the very, very end. So, yeah, a lot of highlight-worthy moments there, and just a good job by Quackheads to, you know, not let up despite the fact that they got down by multiple goals. They just stayed in it, and then they won it. But yeah, really fun round. I'm only sorry that we didn't get an overtime or a round 3, as usually is the case. So, great game all around. For Quackheads here, they will in fact go one game above 500 now, 11-10 on the wins and losses. So that's very nice to see for them. For Alpha Ducks, going to 7-12, but still was a very good game, especially a good second round. It was, you know, kind of similar. I saw Fusion players in there saying they didn't play too well in the first round of that game against Quackheads about an hour ago, but they played very well in the second round. And it was kind of the same here for Alpha Ducks, where Quackheads played very well in that first round. Alpha Ducks just unable to get too much going, and then in the second round, Alpha Ducks really finding their stride, but ultimately was not enough to hold off the, you know, just the force of the Quackhead folk. So, with that said, it was 9 points for Bad Internet leading the score. Minding you, there was a reset midway through round 1, so partial stats. But 9 points for him, 3 steals, 15 stuns. For Middleman, 3 points, 1 assist, 5 saves. Some incredible ones, no doubt, in round 2. 1 steal, 10 stuns. For Gob, it was 2 points, 2 assists, 15 stuns. And then Iron Man with 1 save, 1 steal, 7 stuns. Over on Alpha Duck's side, it was 4 points for Lil Rad leading it for his team, as well as 1 assist, 1 save, 1 steal, 13 stuns. A Ninja Knight with a couple saves, a steal, 17 stuns. Stody with the 3 points, 1 assist, 3 saves, and 2 stuns. And then Martin with 2 points, 1 assist, 18 stuns. All right, so with that said and done, I'll now redirect my attention over here to Twitch after a quick drink. 1 second. All right, just making sure I don't leave anything unanswered, as I tend to do every now and then feel bad for it after the fact. I get distracted easily, okay? But Swift saying I'm using, assume we're using OBS and a Stream Deck-like program. Yeah, basically, it's yeah, OBS and programmed button presses is the name of the game. Let's see, is Kai still here? Can you confirm to me the correct pronunciation of your name if you're still here, phonetically, so I can get it right. If you would, if you're still around. Is it actually Q? I feel that sounds like such a. Really? So is Swift just trolling me? Yeah. Okay. Well, it says I pronounced it right. I need to relax. I'm trying. I just, you know. Part of that tendency in me I don't like getting things wrong, so, you know, when there's corrections that need to be made, I definitely appreciate when people inform me of them. You know, gotta put respect on the name of the players and of the team, so, I don't know. I try to be accurate. It's sort of my job, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. Either or, though. Yeah, and Alcos mentioning, too, and almost same point differential as that game that Fusion played earlier. So yeah, it was a very similar game. But yeah, everyone says Kai. Well, it looks like Kai, I guess. But you know, I'm happy to say whatever. Within reason. Some teams changing things up in their names and whatnot, just to give me a hard time. But I'm happy to say whatever and be accurate about it, I guess. Not naming any names. Creamy milk. Ugh. Oh, boy. Anyway. All right, so that'll do it for me, I think. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Those were some fun matches. We have a few more later on in the day, so I will actually bring that up just briefly before we head off on the stream here. Because, yeah, North America today, we have... Well, wait for it. It's coming, I promise. Maybe not. All right, well, can't pull it up for the stream, apparently. But I'll look on the website nonetheless. And at it's 6 foot over versus... Oh, speaking of teams that have changed their name. 6 foot over versus Gambit. Gambit, formerly known as Guinness, as of, I think, 6 hours ago. But yeah, they are now Gambit today. Changing their name there. So that'll be at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. and 8 p.m. Central. Oh, there's the schedule on the stream now, just in time. Skull Crusaders and Legends will be facing off as well 30 minutes after. Then we have Invictus versus Nova, Ignite versus Team Joker, and then finishing it with a challenge match, Wireless Jacks versus Nay Plus Ultra. And do note that each and every one of these games are 30 minutes apart, so that will be a five streamed matches all up in a row. Part of me has anxiety over the potential delays we may face. Hopefully everyone gets started in time, though. Fingers crossed. And no issues. Fingers crossed. Okay. Anyway, that'll do it for me, so thanks for joining me again. I'll see you guys again later in the day. Be happy, healthy, safe, and have yourselves a good one.